Good morning. Happy Friday the 13th. Right? Check it out. Got the flags happening in the background. Ooh, Maple Leafs flag's a little off there. There we go. Got my jersey behind me. Yep, as always. Hockey season's right around the corner. Can't wait. Literally. It's sleepless nights. It really is. I can't. Ugh, I can't get hockey out of the mind. It's like every day is hockey. Hockey, hockey, hockey. Speaking of hockey, Max Passeretti. That's going to be interesting. Uh-huh. It's going to be an interesting mix. Considering he was a scab for, I don't know, how many years, right? Don't fact check me on that, but it was a long time. And, oh no. Like it was kind of, it was kind of an interesting case when, when, you know, there was one year where, so Kadri, I trying to see if I can. Nah, I can't find it. Damn it. Maybe it's taken down. I'm gonna find it later. But Nazem Kadri, one year, he turns around and Joe Thornton, okay, who used to play for San Jose for the longest time, okay. We all know that he's got a big beard, right? And like and stuff, right? So him and Kadri meet up, right, at a face-off, and they're not teammates. No, they're going against each other at this point, right? It was San Jose versus Toronto, and whatever was said, there was some heated stuff, but it wasn't mic'd up. But whatever was said, it was heated enough that they went at each other, and Kadri grabs Thornton's beard, and then like takes a chunk of his beard. Yeah. We all couldn't believe it either. Sportscasters are like, holy crap, he's got a chunk of his beard. He just ripped out a chunk of Thornton's beard. Crazy. So it's gonna be interesting to see. And where I'm going with that is here's the ironic part for those two, okay? Um Kadri and Thornton the very next season. Okay, well, the very same season, I should say. Okay, they had it out in like the spring, almost the summer type, almost close to playoffs. And then come October, or no, come August in training camp, they met face to face. Yeah, that's when things got interesting, because lo and behold, Thornton became a Toronto Maple Leaf. All of a sudden, him and Kadri had to become friends. Yeah. There wasn't really good communication between those two in the locker room. I can tell you that much. Mm-mm. No. Kadri's a bit of a knucklehead, like me. Yeah. He's, and I say that with respect, right? I respect Kadri 100%. Okay. Great guy. Awesome. Sure. Is a bit of a hot pot, but I mean, who isn't? Literally. When you're on the ice, things get heated. All right? Anything and everything goes on the ice. With that being said, Passeretti coming onto the team, going to be a little interesting. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to jive with the rest of the team. Yeah, considering the fact that they've always been against him, now he has to like pretty much, they're going to look at him as a traitor kind of thing. Like not really welcome. Me as a Leafs fan, I don't like the move. No, I don't think we should have signed Pax already. No, I think we should have just left that alone. No, I think he's going to be a cancer to the club. My perspective. The way I see it is, what do you bring to the team, right? And to me, well, he's old, number one. Number two, okay, he's used and abused, okay? He's had his injuries. He's high on his injuries. He's injury prone, okay? And we've made these mistakes in the past. And I can't understand why we're making these mistakes like this. Management needs to get their shit together, right? Somebody pulled their head out of their ass, right? The Maple Leafs organization is starting to shape up to be like the Liberal Party of Canada, like basically useless. And, it's a bunch of kids coloring with crayons. Yeah. That's why I see Freeland. Now we're getting into politics. Now we're going to get in. Happy Friday the 13th, by the way, everybody. Cheers. And before you all judge me on the type of beer I drink, is certainly not a Bud Light. That's an Alberta Ice Lager. 5%, baby. Get her strong. Anyways, now we're reaching into politics. We got a bunch of politicians basically writing policies with crayons. That's the way I see it. I look at these politicians when they're asked specific questions, just the simplest of questions. They turn around and dance around it. So here's my thing. Here's my theory now. If the politicians, let's get this straight as a society. Here's where I'm going to dumb it down for everybody. I'm going to give you guys the straight facts. If the politicians can break the laws, steal from us, and break the carbon tax laws, do whatever the hell they want, now it's time for us to do whatever the hell we want. Now we can be lawless. Let's go break the law like the government breaks the law. Yeah. Go steal. Go steal. There's no consequence for it. Justina Trudeau's stealing out of your back pocket right now. You're working, and he's stealing right out of your pockets. Larry, welcome to the channel. I know I should. I've been thinking about it a couple times. Yeah, I really do actually want to go into politics, but the thing is, there's so much bullshit, right? But I am an honest person for the people. I'm one of those blue collar people. I'm just like Pierre Poilievre. I grew up in a poor family. Okay, I played hockey. My mom barely afforded to put me in hockey. My mom worked 2 jobs, took care of 3 of us kids, and still put me in hockey. She managed to have all that go on, right? And I went to the library. I read up on things. I read books all the time when I was a kid. I was thirsty for knowledge. I wanted to learn. And I've studied our politics in this country, and I've analyzed things. That's basically my gift that God has given me with. Yes, God. And yes, I always wear my cross. That's my bling bling, by the way. Yeah. That's the only bling bling I need. I don't need fancy chain. I'm not a fancy type person. Yeah, I don't even own a suit. No. I'm serious. Like, I own dress pants and dress shirts, but I don't own a suit. I'm just not that type of guy. Like, it has to be something special for me to actually, like, I have to feel like I'm in the mood to wear a nice dress shirt or something, right? Like, I got a couple of them I'm looking at right now, actually. There's one sec here. There's one in particular. I actually just got this one. This one's pretty nice. This one's for the serious hockey day. Yeah. It's like the hockey day look. Yeah. See, it makes me look too serious. I like it though. I look sharp. On the other hand, in politics, when it comes to policies too, I find it. What's the word I'm looking for? Damn it. It'll come back to me. Um, if you can't answer a question to the people, then you're no good. You're no good for the job. You're not fit for the job. You just don't work. If you can't answer the simplest of questions, like Jagmeet Singh, Crapmeet Singh, listen up and listen good. If you can't answer a simple fucking question, you won't get voted as a prime minister. And by the way, shave your fucking beard, by the way, bud. Because if you think and a beard that we're going to allow you and elect you as a fucking prime minister, nope, not a chance. Not even happening. No, you're called sellout Singh for a reason. You sold out the people. And now you're saying to people, oh, we're here for people. We're working hard for Canadians. We're going to do better. What the fuck were you doing for the last 9 years? Running around the country with our tax-paying dollars? Oh, speaking of which, Freeland mentioned it the other day. Freeland said, and I quote, "We flew around the country talking to Canadians." Oh, you flew around the country. You flew around the country all summer long. On our dime? On whose dime was that? Who paid for that? Who paid for your air flight? Did you pay your carbon tax? Freeland, did you pay your carbon tax? Liberal politicians, did you pay your carbon tax? Why does Justin Trudeau, in a digital age, if this guy was serious about saving money and working for Canadians, why is that man hanging around the Sikhs? Why is that man hanging around the East Indians? Why is he in bed with the East Indians like that? Huh? Why is he in bed with India? We are sick and tired of Indians. We are sick and tired of the immigration. We are sick and tired of this shit. It's time to take back our country. I demand and I am calling on all white people. We take back our country. We stop this racist bullshit. We got a man that's turning around and making policies so that Sikhs and Indians can run this country. I'm going to get the fuck out of here soon. If this shit keeps up, I'll fucking go to Mexico. I'll go join the drug cartels. Fuck this shit. Right? I can go play GTA in real life. You understand? Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. The government hates competition. Plain facts. But it is true. I mean, I could basically go off the radar and just do whatever the fuck I want and go GTA style in real life. Yeah. And that's it. And there won't be a damn thing that the government could do to stop me. No. Because they wouldn't be able to. Because I'd be their worst nightmare. I'd be like Batman and the Joker, all in one. You see, we all need to be educated and awake. Okay? Because too many of you watch mainstream media still, trust mainstream media for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Oh, I know. Hang on. I know why. Because it's already indoctrinated into you. Okay? That's another thing. See, when you're taught this stuff all the time and you're raised to think a certain way, I had to realize, hell, I didn't realize how fucked up I had been indoctrinated until I got the hell away from Ontario. Yeah, I'm serious. Until I came to a conservative province and went, whoa, wow, This is what freedom is. Only then, only when I came out west, did I truly experience freedom. Once I experienced what true freedom was, and that when I was surrounded by folks who believe in the Constitution, who believe in their rights and freedom, and believe in our freedom of speech, and who love hockey, oh man, I was at home. I was at home. This is my home away from home. Of course, Toronto will always be my home. Toronto will always be my home. I was born and raised in Toronto. But you'll never get me back living there again. No. Toronto has fallen. That city's a joke. I ought to be city mayor. Right? But there's too many liberals there. Toronto City Council is a fucking joke. Half of Toronto City Council, I'll call you all out right now. Half of Toronto City Council, you're fucking goofs. You don't know your ass from last Tuesday. Half of you and the city's mayor, oh, Olivia Chow Chow, you're dumber than fucking sticks and stones. Olivia Chow Chow, you would eat your fucking dog. You would eat your dog if it was allowed in Canada. You probably do eat animals. I heard there's newcomers to Canada who are actually eating people's animals in Ontario. Like pets, dogs. Let me give you some fun facts for you people from India and you newcomers to Canada. Listen up and listen good. You're about to get educated because we're nice people. We're nice Canadians, but sooner or later we're going to turn around and we're going to fucking educate you. And we're going to educate you in the worst fucking ways possible. And we'll do it and we'll publicly humiliate you. Number 1, don't piss and shit in our streets. Number 2, don't litter. Number 3, conserve your water. Watch your water. Don't fucking have the water on full blast while you're washing a couple dishes, okay? And waste water like that. Or, you know those things when you eat out of a can? I barely eat out of a can. But those people who eat out of a can and who can't fucking recycle that thing, it doesn't belong in the garbage, man. It doesn't. Oh, and by the way, you want to be here in Canada as a refugee? This is your sanctuary city, or this is your sanctuary country? Learn how to speak the fucking language. Learn how to speak English. We speak English, motherfuckers. I speak 2 languages, good English and bad English. Depending on my mood, depending on the day, and depending on who crosses me, is the kind of attitude you're going to get from me. All right? And it depends on who's pissed me off. All right? So far, no one's pissed me off yet today. I'm on a good note. Yeah. So far. The day's early. It's Friday the 13th. What time is it? It's only 9 a.m. Day's mad early. The world of Facebook could piss me off later. Who knows? I don't want... I've stopped watching full mainstream media news, and I only take little bits and clips from them to figure out just how stupid of a world we're living in. Right? Global News, CTV News, CBC News, all those outlets here in Canada, they're all bought and paid for and supported by the government. Government funded. Which means if they don't do what the government says, they don't get money. Me? I'm an independent motherfucker. Yeah. I do it myself. I don't sell myself out. Never have, never will. Why? For money? For products? Nah. I have a soul. I have dignity. I'm what they call real. Okay? And you know what? There's not a lot of people that are real left like me. There's not. There's very few. I see few YouTube channels, okay? I'll name off Unacceptable Fringe, okay? Derek, he's as real as it gets, okay? Moose on the Loose, same thing, he's real. The Pleb, he's a real I get how real they are because I'm real. That I can sense it. I can read into people. I moved enough people in my lifetime and met enough people in my lifetime and have interacted with enough souls in my lifetime that I just have it just comes naturally to me. I can read you like an open book. And for some reason, my eyes, my whole mind is already analyzing you. Within the first 2 minutes that I meet you, I can tell what kind of a person you are, what kind of demeanor you have, and what kind of soul you have. I can tell if you're full of shit, and I can tell if you're just an honest straight arrow, or if you're fake. I can. And if you're one of those fake people, I can play along with you and just get you out of my life that day. See ya. But I have that gift. And I can see into people, and I can read into people. And those guys are solid, straight, open, and honest guys. People. We've lost that touch. All of us. Since when did we stop being honest with each other? Since when did we stop, like, having our morals and values? It's sad. I wasn't raised like that. No. I was raised on values, morals, respect, honesty. And hell, you do something wrong, then own up to it. Admit it. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes in my life. I've fucked up. Hell, I used to drink hard liquor. Okay? And I'll openly admit, in 2014, that got me arrested. That got me put in jail for 4.5 months. Did I get sentenced to 4.5 months? No, but my ass had to sit there for 4.5 months. Because a judge made me sit there and think about what I had done. Because I didn't even know what I was doing. And I was reckless and out of control. And that was the whole point, was to teach me a lesson not to be reckless and out of control. Because if you keep being reckless and out of control, this is where you're going to end up, or it's 6 feet in the ground. Now let me tell you something. If a lot of you think you're hard, walking around acting like a gangster and shit, huh? And you've never seen the inside of a jail cell, you're not hard. Mm-mm. Nope. That's why I smile at motherfuckers like you. Yeah, you don't know shit. Just for fun. You know, in provincial jail, it doesn't happen as much. Didn't happen to me. But I heard it happens in the penitentiary, where men have sex with men. But in provincial jail, we get a little bored, right? We had a great big TV on the unit, right? There was a great big 80-inch TV. And then there was a 50-inch in the movie room. Or you can go in the weight room, work out. Or you could go out to the yard. Everything was all accessible right at your pod, right on your unit. Anyways, for fun, my roommate and I, my cellmate and I should say, I lived up in the penthouse suite, up on the third tier. And I had a phone outside my cell and everything. It was great. And I could come outside my cell and basically look at the TV and watch TV the whole fucking time. I don't have to go downstairs and mingle with anybody. But anytime there was a new guy that shows up on the unit, right? We'd wait. Just for fun. If we were bored on a Sunday or on a Monday, didn't actually matter what day. If we were bored, a little fun game to play. Because everybody's scared when they come to jail, right? Or like they're terrified, right? So then, and you could see the new guys. The new guys, they'll go on the unit and they'll be sitting there like this. and they'll be rocking back and forth, and they'll be looking at the TV, and they have no idea what the hell's going on. They're just terrified, and they're looking around, and you can tell the whole environment is just like for them, right? That's where we come in. I'd walk up to that guy, sit beside him. My cellmate would sit on the other side. Like, hey man, how's it going? Hmm? First time? Yeah. They normally don't say much. They say, oh, okay, that's cool. So, it's your first time, you're going to be here for a while. You want to have sex? They instantly jump up at you like that, right? Yeah, you're here. Come on, bro. Come on. You come upstairs. Huh? You come upstairs with my cell. Right there. Yeah? I can see you later. Just to fuck with people. That was a game we played. And then like, obviously, after like a couple seconds, few seconds, like, what? It was like, no, we're fucking with you, bro. Like, are you kidding me? We don't do shit like that around here. Fuck. No. And then we download them with the rules. Like, don't leave your soap in the shower, okay? Don't flush the fucking toilet at nighttime, okay? After lights out, after lock up and lights out, don't flush the fucking toilet, wait till the morning. Certain things like that. Because if you hit the flush button on the unit after lock up and lights out's at 11. Lock up and lights out is at 11. And let me tell you something. Everybody on that unit knows who would hit the flush button from what cell. Because you can hear it. You can hear it on the unit. As soon as somebody hits that fucking flush button, it's so silent on the unit that you can hear that fucking thing. Oh, fuck yeah. And let me tell you something, it's not the super flusher. How do I know? Well, so my cellmate was pissed because court didn't go his way. He got sentenced, but it wasn't for very long. Like, he was going to get out same time as me, right? But he was mad. Came back to the unit and just started flushing everything. Fucking flushed his pillow. Or, no, sorry, the pillow was last. He tried to flush the pillow last. He flushed his sheets. He flushed his blanket. He flushed everything in his sight except for my personal belongings. But it flooded the unit. Oh yeah. Like, the bottom tier was like sitting in 2 inches of water. And we're up on the 3rd tier. So people on the 1st tier were not happy with him. Neither were the guards. No. Needless to say, he got a week in solitary for that one. I didn't see him for a week. Speaking of solitary, I've been there. Yeah. I spent 2 weeks in solitary. You know what solitary confinement is? Any of you? Any of you? No? No? Ah. Let me educate you. Solitary confinement consists of having a mattress, a blanket, no pillow, and the Bible. That's it. That's all you get. Oh, wait. And you get 1 hour a day to come out, to shower, use the phone, and that's your yard time. So you have to balance all of that in 1 hour. Yeah. And even when they take you out to yard, you're out there by yourself in a caged environment with no other inmates. You don't talk to nobody. The only people you get to talk to is the guards. Worst 2 weeks of my life, to be honest. Yeah. That will set you mentally straight. That will. When you're left with just your thoughts and nothing else, yeah, you get to thinking. Anyways, sharing life stories with everybody. We're talking politics, hockey, life, don't matter. It's been a while. And I like my fans to know me. Because here's the thing. Tomorrow's never promised. Right? And If I can express myself, let the world get to know me, love me, hate me, whatever, that's fine. That's cool. But for me, this is therapeutic. It is. It's better than counseling. Way better than counseling. When I was put on a counseling list, I was put on a counseling list for 8 years. Or not 8 years, 8 months, sorry, correction. Um, and all they did was medicate me, feed me meds, prescription after prescription. They wanted to make me a customer of Big Pharma. No thanks. No, not happening. No way. No. I've battled depression, right? I've battled losing everybody, right? I've lost my entire family members. Like, everybody in my family wanted nothing to do with me because I was not vaccinated, and I didn't believe in that vaccination, and I didn't wear a mask. So nobody wanted anything to do with me about that. That was fine. Like, well, it wasn't fine, but I've dealt with it. I've managed it. And by the way, I've made my peace with Mom about it. Yeah. I've forgiven Mom. Yeah. You know, Mom and I had a great talk, and the Lord teaches us not to hold grudges and to forgive. Yeah. I'm not I'm not one to judge people, and neither are you. That's the Lord's job, right? That's not our job. What is important, though, is that we don't carry grudges in life. I'm telling you. Don't carry hate. I'm serious. Like, sure, I have a lot of anger towards some people that have done me wrong, okay? But I have no hate. I have God in my heart. I have no hate. God does not want you to hate anybody. God doesn't even hate anybody. If you're a true believer in Jesus Christ and you know that God is the way, then you won't hate anybody. Then you will have to accept that they did some shitty things to you in your life, and they're going to get theirs for it. They're going to get dealt with. They're going to get their punishment, but that's not your department. And I'll give you guys some other good tips to go on. It will add stress to your life. If you hang on to anger to somebody or hate somebody, then that's going to intoxicate you. That's going to make you toxic, and you will not be able to be properly successful. People will be able to read into that. People will be able to read in and see that you're a toxic person. They won't be able to see that your soul is not that great because you're holding on to hate. Now, I'm not saying that it's okay for what people have done to you in the past or anything like that. It's not. But you can accept that they made a mistake or that they made the wrong decisions, and you can forgive. Jesus teaches us forgiveness. After all, the Lord sent his one and only Son to die on the cross for us, to forgive us for all our sins, to cleanse us of all our sins, so that we can have forgiveness, so that we can start anew. I'm not trying to preach or anything, and I'm not trying to tell anybody you have to have faith or Christianity, but holding on to hate and hating somebody will it will intoxicate your brain, and it will haunt you, and you don't need stuff like that. You don't need to hang on to hate. Don't forget. No, you don't have to forget what happened, but you don't have to hold on to hatred for that person. No. Let it go. Write it off. I wrote off a lot of things in my life. I started realizing that, hey, I'm okay being on my own. I don't like being surrounded by fake people. A lot of people ask me and they say, why don't you surround yourself by a bunch of people? Why aren't you out socializing, this, that, and everything? Because most of you are fake. Most of you are full of shit. You're pretending to be somebody you're not. And you're full of lies. And I want no part of it. No. And to believe that there's more than two genders, well, guess what? You have a mental illness. Fact check. I'm just giving you the facts, okay? Because here's the facts. Number one, God, right? God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Okay? Okay, we got that, right? Can a man have a baby? No. Can a man be a woman? No. Have they defined the definition of a woman? No. We have a political leader, Justina Trudeau. It's not officially Justina, but it will be soon. Probably. Because he'll come out of the closet at some point. I guarantee you. Here's my prediction. His only saving grace now is going to be, he's going to jump out of the closet and be like, I'm gay. We all knew that. We knew that 4 years ago when Sophie left. Yeah. But if I was to make bets, right? If we were doing Vegas style bets right now, my money would be on that asshole is going to come out of the closet. Yeah. Justina Trudeau is going to come out of the closet and he's going to say, I'm gay. Yeah. He's going to tell everybody, hey, I'm gay. And he's going to try and support, and he's already working with the Indian Sikh community to try and get their votes and supports. Now, when we go back to that and we analyze a little bit of where he's been and who he's been hanging around with, it's very, very suspicious. What I talked about earlier this year, Mr. Sunshine Baby, I watch his channel all the time religiously because he covers politics. I love watching my politics. I love watching what these politicians, I want to see what kind of bullshit they're spitting out and who's actually fighting for Canadians. And it seems that Trudeau tried to sneak past a bill through the House of Commons so that international students, I'm not making this up. Let's take a sip of beer for this one. That's good beer. All right. He wanted international students to have the right to vote. Students. So if you were here on a student visa, right, then he wanted to push a legislation through the House of Commons to give them a right to vote in Canada. Huh. Isn't that alarming? Why would you want to give an international person who has no idea about politics, who has no idea about anything that goes on in this country, who's fresh off the boat, just getting here to Canada, and you're promising them the world, of course they're going to vote for you. If you're a liberal and you just gave this person asylum and you're like, yeah, come into this country. Yeah, come here. We'll pay you money. We'll give you a job. We'll give you everything. We'll give you an education. But yet this piece of shit can't even He's going around and bringing all these Indians in and bringing all these fucking foreigners in and welcoming them in. Meanwhile, we have homeless people in tents. Our veterans. Our veterans. It's not only just our citizens, but our veterans have been left behind. That's more important than anything right now. Okay? Anybody who has served our country needs to be treated with the utmost respect. You understand? Those people put it on the line. Do you have what it takes? Do you have what it takes right now? Huh? Do you? Because all politicians need to listen to this. Do you have what it takes to set your suit down and to stop your politics and to gear up and to put on a bulletproof vest, lock and load a C7 assault rifle and go into combat? Do you have what it takes? Do you have what it takes to put on a combat helmet, have the earphones on, listen to orders, and have shit blown up around you? Okay. So, those brave men and women who come back from fighting, right? And they come back to our society and they don't have a mission anymore. And they want to get done with the military and they want to go back into society, but they have a hard time integrating back into society. I wonder why. A, they're dealing with PTSD. I deal with PTSD. PTSD is no fucking joke. Most times when I go to sleep, it's scary. I have flashbacks and everything else. When I go to sleep, I'm in nightmare mode. I try to avoid sleep at all costs. I'm not even kidding you. If I don't drink enough beers in a day for my mind not to think about, to trigger my PTSD. But if I watch the news, if I see something on the news that's happened, that'll instantly trigger my PTSD. Yep. This month alone triggers my PTSD. Hell, it's coming up on 3 years where I almost lost my life. Yeah, October 2nd, 2021. I was fighting for my life. The hospital. When I got down to the hospital calls my emergency contact, and at that happened to be my ex-wife at the time. And they said, you might want to get down here. We don't know if he's going to make it. Okay? There might be a chance that he's not going to make it. Like, you might want to come say goodbye. And she said, I hope he dies. And she hung up the phone. And the paramedics and the cops were around me, and they said, that's your ex? Yeah, sadly. And the one cop said to me, he goes, wow, what a piece of shit. Right off the bat, he said it like that, right in front of everybody. He's like, that's a piece of shit. I was like, yeah, I know. And I said, that's why we're not together anymore. And I was like, I read into her, man. And it was like 4.5 years of that bullshit. No more. Yeah. Never again. No. You couldn't pay me to be with any money of my exes. And let me tell you something about that. I'm going to educate all of you. Okay? Just checking the time. This thing dies. Yeah, charge that. Exes are exes for a reason. Don't go back. No. You want to know something? Think of it this way. For those of you who eat fast food, I don't. But just saying, for those of you who do. Think of it this way. You go to McDonald's. Those are fresh fries. Hot, tasty, right? Now, don't finish those fries, okay? Put them in the fridge. Next day, stick them in the microwave. See what happens. Are they still good? No. It looks good. It's not going to taste good. Exes will leave a foul taste in your mouth, your life, and everything. Think of it as life lessons. Yeah. Those people were in your life to teach you lessons, to teach you how to be a better person, to teach you how to be more observant, to how to analyze things better. We're all in each other's lives for a reason. Okay? But unfortunately, there's too many fake people out there that take advantage of the honest and good people. And we don't have a lot of honest and good people left. We just don't. Which is why I choose to stay off social media and stay away from social media, because I can't trust any of it. I don't trust anybody. I trust myself. That's what it comes down to. I trust myself, and I trust in God. God lives in my heart, always. This one, my cross will always be by my side. The only time I don't wear mine, okay, I call it my bling bling, okay? The only time I don't wear my bling bling is when I go to sleep at night. Because when you go to sleep at night, if you're a person like me and you move around, okay, which I do, I can't, for some reason, I don't stay in the same spot, right? I could go to sleep on one end of the bed and then I wake up at the other end going, what the hell? Right? My point on that is never go to bed wearing a watch. Never go to bed wearing a necklace. You can get choked in your sleep. Yeah. It can happen at random and you don't even know. Yeah. It's not you, it's just whatever you do in your sleep. You don't know what you do in your sleep. Okay? And when we fall into REM sleep, or REM sleep, I should say, things happen. We do things in our sleep. We speak. Some of us even sleepwalk, for crying out loud. Hell, my brother's one of them, right? My brother had a serious case of sleepwalking when he was younger, and that's pretty scary. Yeah, that's like watching a like, how do I don't want to say demonized person, but like a possessed person. That's watching a completely possessed person know exactly what they're doing and where they're going with their eyes closed. Holy fuck. So scary. Yeah. Well, if you want to get down to it, the nitty gritty, here's the details. I used to share a room with my brother, as did most of us. We shared a room with our siblings when we were growing up, right? One night, I heard these footsteps, and my brother goes running out of the room. I'm like, where the fuck are you going? I look at the clock, and it's like, it's not even it's just about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm thinking in my head, like, where the fuck are you going? And he goes straight past the banister, goes down the stairs, straight past our dogs, out the back door, and down the street. Thank God we lived on a dead-end street, because he went to the dead end and came back, and he came back to the house. And the big mistake I made, I didn't know this. I didn't know what the hell he was doing. And I'm still like, I'm teenager, right? I'm just a young teenager. And I'm still learning about things in the library and stuff like that. But I know nothing about this. I know nothing about sleepwalking. Like, the whole situation was terrifying me, right? Like, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to make sure he was going to be safe and nothing happened to him. I tried waking him up. Big mistake. Big mistake. Biggest mistake ever. Don't do that. Do not do that. Nope. He starts screaming at me, full throttle, and lashing out, freaking out. I'm like, calm down. And he just full out went rage mode. And he did that for about, like, I don't know, a couple minutes. And then I shit you not, he went right back to sleep. He like curled up in a ball, went on the lawn, and he crawled up into a ball, and he went back to sleep. I'm like, what the fuck was that? What the hell happened? Stayed with him till he got up. And then when I asked him about it, and I questioned him about it, he didn't know what the hell happened. He had no memory of any of it. None. He was like, poof, didn't happen to him. I was like, man, if we had cell phone cameras back then, like this is going back like 25 years ago. Wow. Jeez. I'm getting old. Fuck. I'm 39 now. When I think back to things now, I'm like, that was 20 years ago? Oh my God. How? No, seriously, you hear a lot of people say stuff like that. Like, you know how you would hear, you remember when you would hear your grandparents saying something like, oh, I remember back then. I'm having those moments now. I'm having those moments where I remember back when, yeah. I remember when the world still had common sense. Yeah. Now, it's like the world needs a pair of panties. Oh, no, wait. No, sorry. The world nowadays. Oh, I seen this the other day. I seen a full guy trying to dress himself like a girl, right? Trying to pose as a girl. And I just couldn't help but laugh. I couldn't keep a straight face. I'm looking at this person. I'm like, all I see is a clown. All right? So if people can dress up in public with pink hair, blue hair, identify as a cis or trigender or whatever the fuck, I'll do what I want. Right? I can identify as whatever the fuck I want to identify as. According to the crazy society, I call them the crazy because we are divided now. You have the mentally ill, which is the left, and then you have the people on the right who have common sense. There's no common ground because the people who are mentally ill are possessed by the devil. Ask the mentally ill if they believe in God. Some of the gay community says that God is gay. No. Read your Bible. God's the furthest thing from gay. God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. You faggots. You're fucking possessed by the devil. You're not fucking smart. You're fucking stupid. You're kicking rocks. Right? You don't have any common sense in your fucking head. And you never will. The problem with the fucking generation today and the generation growing up today is that they're all fucking dumb. They're too stupid for their own fucking good. They're too stupid to fact check their stuff and to actually look into something and do some research and do some critical thinking. Do they even know what that is? Fuck no, they don't. You know how we could cripple this generation? Huh? You know how my generation can cripple this generation? No more fucking automatic cars. Let's go back to manual transmission. Let's go back to cursive writing. Hell, if we wanted to, my generation could take over this world quick. Because if we really wanted to, we could make up all our war messages to each other and plans and write it all out in cursive, which you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. And most of you are going to look at that and go, what the fuck kind of language is this? What is this? How do we, and you wouldn't even be able to interpret that stuff. You know how we're experts at it? Well, you're looking at somebody that got detention time. And when I mean detention time, I mean a lot of it. I had a mouth in school, a big one. I challenged authority. As soon as I took grade 9 civics class and I figured out that I could challenge authority and question policies, oh man, I questioned everything. And that landed me in deep hot water. Oh yeah. I got a gold star in detention. All right. Or no, sorry, gold medal? Nah, fuck it. There's a trophy with my name on it somewhere. I know there is. Or a plaque on the wall, something. But none of you have ever had to write out a sentence in cursive writing on the blackboard with a piece of chalk, okay? And mind you, you can't break that piece of chalk. The teacher gives you a big piece of chalk like that. It says you break that chalk, you're starting over again. So not only do you have to be careful with that stick of chalk, okay, but you also have to completely write the exact same way that the teacher wrote those letters and those words in that sentence. And it better be for perfection and up to that teacher's standards, or else they would come up to you and go, I don't like that line. Rewrite it. And we're talking, this is after school. This is when I'm supposed to be out in the street playing hockey. Sometimes I was in detention till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. So for me getting up on time, going to school, and going to work, I was already doing it as a kid. I was already like, I was at school at 8 o'clock in the fucking morning. I was always on time. We always had to be on time. If your ass was late to school, I don't know why school has so much leniency with kids nowadays and with your sad ass generation, because you guys just show up late or whenever the fuck you want. You couldn't do that back in my day. No. Like, your ass, you were out of the house because your parents kick your ass out of that house. Your parents make sure your ass is going to school. And they tell you. And they would literally, physically, or not physically, they would verbally tell you, you better go to that school and you better come the fuck home after school, or I'll beat your ass. That's how we were told. We got along just fine. I mean, a lot of us survived. We're still alive. Hell, I drank out of a garden hose outside just to avoid being in the house. Nowadays, kids are in the house. Everybody's in the house. It's driving me nuts. I can't believe it. We have such a corrupt, fucked up society because too many people are on screens. You got politicians making up stupid shit. People don't want to go out because it's not safe. And I hate to tell you all, but here's some fun facts. Fun Facts Friday. If you think that safe supply of drugs is a problem, no, that's not even plugged in. There we go. No, do you know what is a problem? Let me tell you. It is just take for instance, you parents out there, if you were to shut off your Wi-Fi in the house, instantly your kids are going to be up your ass, right? Dad, Mom, what happened to the internet? Right? Seriously, shut off the internet, change the Wi-Fi password for a second. See what happens. You'll instantly get your kids' reactions. You'll instantly be able to interact with your children. Okay? Why? Because you've taken their fix away. Now, what do you think's going to happen when the whole cell phone service doesn't work no more? Those people who are used to walking around staring at their fucking phones are going to have a fit worse than a crackhead. Shit you not. You take a crackhead who's fiending for crack and hasn't had crack for a day, and then take a teenager who hasn't had their cell phone for a day. You see how crazy they are. Both of them are going to go insane. But you'll see the teenager freak out more than the crackhead. Why is that? Because they crave social media. They rely on social media. That's all they know. Fuck, am I glad I grew up in my generation. My generation, we went outside. Always. We lived outside. That's what I mean. When the world goes to shit and the government collapses, most of you, you're going to look to the grocery stores and the gas stations to save your life. Me, I'm going to the mountains. Bye. I'll go live with nature. I can survive on my own. I could survive out in the woods. You can't. We survived outside as kids growing up. All the time. Hell, our parents, you can take this however way you want. If you think it sounds bad, whatever. But our parents used to tell us, get the fuck out of the house, or you're going to be cleaning this house. You have two options. And it didn't matter the weather outside. You were like, see ya, bye. I'm gone. I'm not staying in this house. Fuck that. Were we allowed to sit around and watch TV? Fuck no. Hell no. When we would come back in the house from playing outside, I remember my mother sometimes saying, what the fuck are you doing in my house? Is it dinner time? Get the fuck out of my house. We weren't allowed inside. We survived outside with each other. We rode our bikes trying to kill each other racing, right? Like, we had this racetrack that we used to circle around and around and around. We used to crash into each other and like split our kneecaps open, gash here, gash there, fucking bleeding here, fucking no worries, fucking just keep on going. Like, we shared everything. We shared food. We shared our popsicles. We shared our ice cream. We shared drinks. Because we were terrified of going back inside. We were terrified of being in the house. We were allowed outside until the street lights come on. When the street lights come on, that was the time you had to come home. It was perfect in the summertime. Summertime, we got up until 11 o'clock at night. It was perfect. It's awesome. But if you didn't start coming home when the streetlights came on, your ass was getting grounded. Oh yeah. And I remember coming home one night and my mother says to me, do you know what time it is? I'm like, what? No. Do I have a watch? She's like, well, the streetlights have already been on for the last half an hour. I was like, we were playing hockey. You just seen us. She's like, what's the house rules? I'm like, holy fuck. Like, our parents back then were strict. They beat your ass with a belt. They didn't give a fuck. And for that matter, your neighbors, they watched everything. Yeah, we had neighborhood watch. You don't see signs like that anymore. No. Like, nothing happened to us in our neighborhood because our neighbors were on the porch watching us play hockey in the streets. They watched their kids. Nowadays, parents don't give a shit about their kids. No, they give them a screen and they think that's going to educate them and that's going to raise them and that's going to teach them shit. No, they got no life values from that. You know, when I was a kid, for fun, two things. Number one, you can't do it anymore. We used to play King of the Hill. So we would find the biggest snowbank, okay, on the school property. And then the biggest, toughest kid would be on the top. And your job was to bring his ass down by any means necessary. And when I say by any means necessary, I mean throw snowballs. You can run up and football tackle him and take his ankles out right out from underneath him and fucking throw him over your shoulders and fucking throw his ass down the hill if you want it. Hell, my cousin Nick got his ankle sprained because he got just fucking railroaded off the top of the hill one time, right in front of the house. We built up this snowbank and my cousin Nick just comes over, just plasters Nelson. Oh yeah, that was awesome. Nelson goes, or yeah, sorry, it wasn't Nick that did his ankle in, it was Nelson. Nelson goes flying. Oh, it was beautiful. Back then, you could do shit like that. We could beat the shit out of each other, and there was no consequences. And it toughened us up. It gave us character. It made us strong. Okay, especially street hockey. Nowadays, kids are weak. You're all weak sauce. You don't have a shit's chance against my generation. Once my generation turns up and wakes the fuck up and decides that we're done and we've had it with this shit and we're taking back our country, look the fuck out. Because you're going to be messing around with kids and adults now, like me, who grew up like that, who grew up in the harshest, toughest environments that you could only imagine surviving through. And you won't. It made us batshit crazy. And you won't even be able to stand a shit's chance. No. Some of you, I'll be able to go and you'll blow over. Yeah. There's a lot of you so-called snowflakes. Yeah. There is. Where your feelings are offended. Holy fuck, I offend people's feelings on a daily basis. I'm pretty sure everything that comes out of my fucking mouth offends somebody. Around somewhere, doesn't it? Good. My work here is done. I love myself. Yeah. I love my demeanor. I love my character. See, I wouldn't change who I am. I wouldn't try to be somebody I'm not. I definitely wouldn't get vaccinated. And I definitely don't believe in digital IDs. So if you believe in the World Economic Forum, if you believe in the NDP government, if you support the Liberals, or if you're a Democrat, I got a message for you. Go fuck your face. You're delusional. You have a mental illness, and you need to seek professional help. Quick. Okay? Pull your head out of your ass. Join us in reality. And let's start holding those accountable. And let's start making the NDP and the Liberals actually answer questions. After all, those motherfuckers work for us. We're the ones paying them. So if we all stop working, if we all decide to show up at their house on their fucking front lawn and say, listen, motherfucker, you owe me money. After all, the current politicians right now are burning our tax dollars and burning your money while you're turning around and scraping for pennies. Well, we don't even have pennies anymore, but you're scraping for nickels and dimes. You're living paycheck to paycheck because of these fucking losers. And it's pathetic that our prime minister calls himself a man for the people when he's known full well that there was a housing crisis for the veterans 9 years ago, and it's been 9 years now and nothing's happened. He has not put boots on the ground. He has put more effort and more of his political agenda into bringing in foreign immigrants and India, rather than taking care of our veterans and taking care of our homeless. Canadians first, not India. I'm sick and tired of our government putting Ukraine and India first. I want a government that puts Canadians first. I want a real leader. It's time we take the little puppeteer out of the fucking government and we get rid of that fucking piece of shit. It's time for real leadership, man. It's time for someone who actually wants to help Canadians, who actually invest money into the Canadians, into our economy. Get them off the street. Get them affordable housing. Build them a tiny home community. We have the builders. It doesn't take very long to build a tiny home. You can construct a tiny home community in less than 30 days. You get enough guys, you get the right guys, the right construction crew together, and holy fuck, they can make it happen. Okay? Look at everything around you, all your major construction buildings, all your skyscrapers and shit. Most of that was made by men. So it can happen. So with him telling you that there's a housing crisis and that they're doing work for the people, they haven't done shit in 9 years. They haven't implemented shit. They've done nothing but steal your fucking money and jet set around the fucking country and fly around and shaking hands with World Economic Forum people and trying to create fucking policies that don't do anybody any good. Like, I'm telling you, this government, the whole liberal government is a fucking joke. Freeland, you're a fucking joke. Carney, you're a joke. Look at Justin Trudeau is putting Carney on his fucking payroll so that he's not going to be held accountable for anything he does under ethics laws. That's shady shit. If you're not doing shady stuff, if you're a straightforward person, if you're there for the people, why are you continuously going behind Canadians' backs, stealing from us, telling us everything's okay when clearly it's not, telling us, oh, we should be happy that interest rates have come down and that we have some kind of AAA credit rating? No, Freeland, we don't have a fucking credit rating. You threw our credit rating into the fucking toilet. You maxed out the fucking country's credit card. You went on a spending spree. You doubled our fucking debt. You shouldn't be a finance minister. You couldn't finance your own fucking finances. Mr. Speaker. That's how she sounds. And then she says, let me be clear. We as a government are doing the best for Canadians. She talks like a fucking toddler. Grow the fuck up, Freeland. Act like a fucking adult. Take some fucking language skills, okay? You got no skills. You got no fucking finance skills, no speaking skills. You're a lying sack of shit, and you're probably a shitty wife. And I can guarantee the man is only staying with you because you make more than he does. And I can guarantee you your husband is probably, if I look him up on Google, he's probably a weak piece of shit just like you. He's not even half a man. Nah. He's probably on his way to transitioning to be a female. Oh, Justina, since you think that tampons belong in men's bathrooms, can you define what a woman is? Since you're trying to pretend to be like one. Define what a woman is. Matthew, welcome back to the channel, brother. Happy Friday the 13th, motherfuckers. I had a lot to say. That's why it's called a Friday Rant, because it's nothing's scheduled. I don't like to think ahead to, like, nah. I'm not like, oh, I'm going to be on at a certain time next week. No. I'm not saying anything's bad about that. I'm just saying, I like to be unpredictable. That's just my style. That's how I roll now. That's how it's always rolled. I'm either online or I'm not. It's like poof, like magic. Oh yeah. Oh, you want me to do that again? Okay, so Freeland does this. She speaks in the House of Commons like the Mr. Speaker, let me be clear. We as a government, we are working hard for Canadians. She speaks like that. She speaks slowly and she speaks like we're all children. And she can't carry herself as an adult. But you watch in the House of Commons, I'm telling you, the House of Commons is coming back. Okay? It comes back this week. Oh, it's going to be exciting. Or next week, I should say. And you're going to hear her say, Mr. Speaker. That's how she directs every single time. Every single time. And it's like nails scratching on a chalkboard. You can't stand it. And you're just like, fuck. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Just don't fucking speak anymore, all right? Just, you are fucking dumb. Like, you're like, I feel like I'm losing IQ points when I fucking see her speak, all right? When I listen to her speak, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm getting dumber by the second, right? I gotta get smart quick again. I gotta do something to undo the dumbness that she just said, because the stupidity that comes out of her mouth, it's like, holy fuck, I could be finance minister. I could be minister of fucking all kinds of shit. Give me a job in government right fuck now. Okay? Give me a job in the House of Commons. I'll make sure the Nazi doesn't get brought into the House of Commons, and I'll make sure the fucking budget gets balanced, all right? And I'll make sure that fucking people are not jet setting all over the fucking country. Like Trudeau just went from 3 different places. This guy, this asshole, turns around and tells us, we have to watch our carbon footprint, blah, 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 right? He's going to tax us, this and that. But, here's the thing. He had to go to Newfoundland. He had to fly to Newfoundland just to announce that there's going to be a food program. I'm sorry, can't you announce that from your office in Ottawa? Pretty sure you can. I announce shit on my videos all the time. Do you see my ass jet setting around the fucking country? No. Then he turns around and flies off to fucking BC for another liberal cabinet retreat. Didn't they just have one in Halifax? Now they need one in BC? At the taxpayers' expense, by the way. At our expense. And they still won't answer our questions. So I ask all Canadians now this very same question. Why would you want people like that in government? If you can't answer questions to the people, they're not for the people. They're working against you. You're the sheep and you're in their control. You're their puppet. You vote Liberal, you vote NDP, you're going to be controlled by puppets. You're going to be the puppets. They're going to be the puppeteers and you're going to be the puppet. And they'll keep taking from you. Now, as a conservative myself, Pierre Poilievre is actually a solid guy. That is the only chance we have. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he would be our solid saving grace at this point. Okay? I would trust him more than anything. Why? I'll give you some fun facts about him. Number 1, when he was a kid, he always studied politics just like me and always analyzed it. Okay? He studied. He had thoughts for himself. Okay? He didn't allow himself to be indoctrinated by something. Okay? He educated himself. And he spent his time in the library like I did. He also played hockey. He also knows the struggle. He knows the struggle of what it's like to watch your parents struggle. He watched it happen. I watched it happen in my family. So he literally knows the struggle. That's why the man is so passionate about it. That's why the man can connect with everybody. And he has my connection because his energy matches us. because he sees the hurt, he sees the pain, he sees the suffering, because he's seen it himself. Trudeau has never seen that shit. Most of the liberal people in government, they haven't seen any struggle. They haven't had to go to a food bank. I've had to go to a food bank in my life. They haven't had to go to a food bank. They haven't had to. They don't know what it's like to balance. Like, shit, I'm gonna be. I'll just pay the hydro bill next month, or I'll just pay my cell phone bill next month, so I can get these groceries this month. Like, they have no idea what that's like. No. And the thing is, we're such a rich country that we shouldn't, as Canadians, we shouldn't be in that position. We should be the Saudis of Canada. Literally. Us and the natives. We should literally be the Saudis of Canada. But Trudeau has his fist so far up someone's ass and trying to tickle their G-spot that he has sold his soul to the devil. He sold his soul to China. After all, it's not me who said it, but it's Trudeau who said it. He said it himself. I admire the Chinese dictatorship. That's what he said. He said it. He can't take that back. And he said it with a smile on his face, like he was trying to sell that to people. This is before the vaccine bullshit. And look where that man's in bed with. China and India. And he's got a bunch of Sikhs. What was he doing? What was he doing in BC around a bunch of Sikhs? Why does he have a major involved with India? Why does he keep bringing Indian people here? I'm sick and tired of it. Sooner or later, us Canadian citizens, we're going to revolt. We're going to fight back. We're going to start fighting these motherfuckers in the street. There's going to be a brawl in the street soon. They keep taking our jobs. We're going to come take the fucking jobs. We're just going to come to those stores and we're just going to start stealing the merchandise. And then we'll challenge the Indian people. Come try me, motherfucker. Right? Try me, come at me, see what happens. Right? Better dial 911, see how fast they come out. Right? Sooner or later, mark my words, Canadians are going to start stealing from the stores. You take their jobs and you replace them with Indian people, sooner or later, the Canadian citizens are going to revolt and just walk into the stores and we'll just start stealing whatever the fuck we want and walk away. Who are you going to call? The cops? They're busy. They're way too fucking busy. And if you lip us off enough, we'll come right behind the fucking counter and take everything, take the money and everything. Right? You'll be lucky if you don't get tuned up. So keep taking our jobs and keep disrespecting Canadians. Canadians will only tolerate this shit so much. Mark my fucking words. We have a tolerance level. And when our tolerance level comes up, and when we've had enough, look the fuck out. We play hockey. Hockey's our national sport. Hockey's the most violent sport on the planet. And it's a sport played by warriors. And now you're in a fucking country surrounded by warriors. We'll fight for our country. And if we have to, we'll fight and take it back. And we'll put your asses back on a boat and ship your ass back to India. Have a nice day. Happy Friday the 13th. Bam Bam is out.